Hi there, my name is Chris. I'm going to talk a little bit about body modification today, more importantly, stretched earlobes. And I'm going to go into a little bit about the historical aspect of it, and then I'm going to go into the how-to on how to actually do it yourself. So, body modification itself has been around since recorded human history. It's all over the place. The indigenous tribes of about every single continent, Australia, Africa, South America, North America, everywhere you see, the stretched earlobes, the tattoos, everything like that. Some famous figures that have body modifications are Buddha, the Easter Island heads, King Tutankhamun, the Pharaoh of Egypt. I don't know if you guys know the story of Buddha or not, but basically he was like this really, really wealthy prince, and he had all this kind of jewelry on him, and then in his search for self-enlightenment, he deprived himself of all that. And so whenever you see Buddha depicted in imagery and stuff, he always has dangly earlobes because he used to have plugs in them and stuff. So yeah, it's recently been modernized by Westerners, and you see that in a lot of the youth today and stuff like that. This is going to be on how to stretch your ears. So the first step is basically you decide if you actually want to do it or not. You have to keep in mind that this is a permanent thing, and if you don't want holes like this in your ear for the rest of your life, then that's something that you have to know that you're going to have to live with. So yeah, you have to decide if it's appropriate for where you spend most of your time, like your work or school. I work at Jersey Mike's, and they don't have any problems with showing tattoos or plugs, but it's more important that you look ahead into your future and see if you're going to be working as a lawyer, you don't really want to have giant holes in your ears, I don't think. But that's changing with the times, so I don't know. Next, you have to determine what your goal size is going to be. Sizes with plugs go by gauge, and here's a little picture of a chart for you. It starts off usually with a piercing of around an 18G is what we call that, and you go up by 2 every time you size up. So you have to determine what kind of size you want your plug to be. You can have a little baby one like this, which is about a 6 or an 8G, or you can go as big as one of these, which is about a 1/2 inch. And it keeps going up past that too. For your third step, you have to equip yourself with the proper materials. So you're going to want to have a pierced earlobe, which you can do yourself, or if you want to be safe, you can go to a professional studio and stuff. You're going to need tapers, which are either going to be steel or acrylic. Keep in mind the stainless steel ones tend to not get germs on them or anything, and the acrylic ones are a lot cheaper, but you're playing with fire there a little bit. You're also going to want some oil. I use EB oil whenever I size up for mine, and you can use any kind of jojoba oil or anything works like that, anything that's water-based. So yeah. Your fourth step is that you're going to stretch your ear. You have to put the oil on the taper and then basically just push it through, and it really hurts sometimes, but if you do it in a hot shower, it usually doesn't end up hurting too bad. But you have to make sure you stop if any bleeding occurs, because that is not normal, and you're going to want to downsize immediately whenever you do that. Fifth step is you have to change jewelry. You're not supposed to wear your tapers. I know that you sometimes see a lot of people that are walking around with those things that look kind of like golf tees, and you're actually not supposed to do that because there's a kind of unbalanced weight there, and it can end up hurting your ear in the long run. So right after you push the jewelry through the taper, you're going to switch it to a plug or a tunnel, whichever one you have on hand at the moment. Then you're going to have to wash the Aftercare. You're going to wash it every single day, and I have a little bit of a story for you, because this is the second time I've stretched my ears. I took them out in about my junior year, I think. I just restarted stretching, I don't know, like a month ago or so. But you have to make sure that you wait the proper amount of time between your stretching, whenever you're stretching your ears, because otherwise it can hurt really, really bad whenever you go to the next stretch, and it can even tear your earlobe. And I'm sure that you guys have all seen things like that. I didn't really want to put a picture of it there because it's pretty nasty. But pressure, redness, anything like that, that's all normal. Yeah, that's normal whenever it's going to feel a little bit hot sometimes. You take Tylenol and everything, and it usually doesn't take the pain away. You're going to clean your lobe and your jewelry every single day, because if you don't, it will smell like a fresh corpse, and it is the most disgusting thing you will ever smell in your life. I actually was sitting in a classroom one day after I had forgot to wash them one morning, and I was just messing around with them, and I took it out, and it literally smelled up the entire classroom. So you do not want to forget to clean those, because it is really nasty. Some tips: don't stretch too fast, because you're told from the second you go to buy plugs from usually from the professionals and stuff at piercing studios and everything like that, they'll tell you that the slower you go with your ears, if you let them heal and everything, you'll get better results at the end. So you'll be able to go, you know, a lot higher if you want to go to like a bigger size, a lot easier if you take your time with it. Always wash your ears and jewelry, otherwise it smells really bad. Never skip sizes, and I also have another story about that. One time I had bought a pair of tapers, and they were a size 6G, and I wanted to go up to a size 8, or I wanted to go up to a size 4. And I ordered them in the mail, and I actually got a pair of 6s instead of 4s because that's what I wanted to size up to. And I already had bought a pair of size 2s from the store that I was going to use the size up after I used those. And I was like, oh, it won't matter. I'll just skip this size this one time. It was the only time I'd ever done that, and it was probably the most painful thing that I've ever experienced in my life because it's like basically like pushing something that's way too big into your ear and it just like rips it. So yeah, that was really painful. Never use porous material whenever you're stretching, like with tapers or plugs or anything like that. I know that a lot of them come in like bone or silicone or wood, and the bad thing about that is that whenever your ear is healing, it can sometimes fuse to the porous materials, and then it will like stick in there, and you'll basically have a permanent accessory on your ear. So you don't want that to happen. But yeah, basically stretching can be really, really cool, and if you go with body modification, tattoos, plugs, and like stretching your ears, anything like that, it can come out really awesome, and it's a really great way to like individualize yourself and everything. If you like, you know, Star Wars, they got Star Wars plugs. If you like Pokemon, there's Pokemon plugs. If you like Nintendo, there's Nintendo plugs. If you're an internet person and you like memes, there's from VCAP plugs. You know, and there's all sorts of things out there. So it's just a great way to individualize yourself, and it's something that I really enjoyed doing. So yeah, it's just something that's made me go in. Yeah. Well, that is it.